Hey everyone, this is Neil here on the EndlessPens channel. What I'm here to talk to you about today is the next collaboration I did in conjunction with Hatch and one of my favorite pen brands. I showed this pen briefly before the California Pen Show, but now it is finally releasing. The first detail about this release is the sleeve itself. I really like high fashion brands, and they do this fairly often where they'll use like a repeating checkerboard style of design. It's called demier. I wanted to do my version of that, so what I did was take my logo and the Leonardo logo, and then I just used the X that's on the cover here and just repeated it. And it's a small detail, maybe not everybody keeps their boxes, but I do, so I wanted to include that. Inside of the box you have an instruction manual, as they all come with that, but the real special thing is the pen. One of the biggest details when it came down to doing a collaboration with Leonardo, knowing that this is already one of, if not my #1 favorite brand, I wanted to tell a story that was super true to me, but had meaning for everybody else that wanted to pick it up. So I actually went with the model that is not commonly used. This model is called the Asenza Polyedrica, and it's something that I think really fits with the message I'm trying to tell. For starters, on this pen, you're gonna notice the material right out the gate. We have a striped resin that was made specifically for this project. I worked with a brand called D2 Arts. You can check him out on Instagram. I found him by referral from Luke at Papa J Studios. Shout out to Luke. And this guy was able to achieve vertical stripes in a way that looked so unique. There's some that are wider, some that are thinner, but it gives it a unique look that you just don't see anywhere else. Since this resin is a stripe resin, you could have yellow in the front of the pen, you could have purple, you could have black. So I actually have a few samples here, just so you can see a small size of the different variation. My pen has purple on the front and then yellow on the back. This pen has black on the front, purple on the back. This pen has purple on the front, purple on the back. And it's really special to me that even though all of these pens are from the same release, they're each gonna be unique in their own way. And with that variation, it actually amplifies my story even more. These are the same collaboration, the same blanks, the same maker, the same design, the same artisan, everybody involved. But every single one is gonna be unique. It is unique for you and you are unique for it. It is just something that I wasn't anticipating, I guess. When I first thought of this, I was thinking they'd all be identical. I wasn't thinking that you turn a rod, they can't be, you know? So it just turned out really cool that every one of these tells their own story as well. Once you get past the material, the model itself continues that unique theme. On the top and bottom of this pen, as it tapers in and out, you're gonna find triangle facets. So it'll have 3 facets on each side, and on the top, you can see what I mean by triangle. It's pretty obvious right away. But it gives this pen one of the most unique shapes I've seen on any model, especially a mainstream model. This model generally doesn't have a clip. I wanted to include the clip for all of you clip lovers out there. But also the shape of it stays super clean and streamlined, which I just love. That is not easy to achieve, and it's only done from high quality companies and people that really care about craftsmanship. Another unique feature, once you take the pen cap off, you're gonna see that material continues up through the pen. He worked hard to achieve this. I know that he said he did his best to use one blank for the entire pen, so you had mostly clean lines, and it gave you a really unique transition when it came to the grip. So I mentioned the triangle on the cap and the bottom. The grip itself also has a triangle grip. And I should say triangle-like because the edges are rounded a bit. It's not gonna be too aggressive of a triangle. You're not gonna be pinched when you hold this pen. It's a form that to me just encapsulated the message I wanted to tell. When it comes to the nib on the pen, you have the La Fenice nib. The stamped logo and branding on here is literally the best on the market. I will die on this hill. I think it is just fantastic looking. When it comes to the sizing of the nibs, for those of you curious about picking this pen up, you have extra fine all the way up to a broad, and all of the nib options are gold-plated steel. I chose to do only steel because I wanted this to be as accessible as possible for the people that are actually into the story I want to share. And that story is going to be shared now. With this design, I really wanted to do an homage to one of the most impactful people to my life. And they don't even know they are, which makes this even more fun to me. It's my homage to them without them even really knowing me directly. His name is Chris Do. He is actually a graphic designer and I don't know if you want to say business entrepreneur, life coach, business coach. He's got so many acolytes under his name. He is someone that influenced me, especially early on, and still today I watch like all of his content. The big thing that resonated with me is about being yourself, always. Put yourself out there, how to make sure people know who you are. And that's something that so many people, and I see it now that I know how to spot it, struggle with. It's normal to want to put on a show or perform when you're in front of a camera. Obviously, I do reviews and I try to be funny, but I'd like to think I'm funny in real life as well. I'd like to think that everything I put out there is just a genuine, authentic version of myself. His videos helped me a ton, and I just think he's one of the smartest people, honestly, in the world, and just so helpful and so inspiring. I could glaze this man forever. But let me just pull back a little bit. What I did to homage him is, one, I called this Leo Angeles. The color palette here is really based on LA, some sports teams, some other stuff. Additionally, he is based in LA, so I did the small connection there. These are also numbered out of 72 pens. He was actually born in 1972, so I try to do some homage with numbering always.
Just having some fun.
On the back of the cap, it has a saying that I've heard Chris repeat 100,000 times, and it's be meaningfully different. To me, that is such an impactful quote. I don't want to just be different to stand out, it's intention, and all of that is so important to me. Look at the model of this pen. It is so unique. You have the triangle facets, the triangle grip, the striped resin. I just feel like, or at least I hope, that I was able to encapsulate that message and just really put it out in the world. Not only just to homage him, but inspire others to do the same thing.
I can get behind that.
So as always, guys and girls out there, thank you for watching this. Thank you, Endless, for letting me do another collab. Thank you, Leonardo, for being one of my favorite brands and being willing to make a pretty unique pen to add to the collection. And lastly, to Chris Do, thank you for inspiring me. I really mean it. Thank you.